Deconfliction between Israel and Hamas is on the rise. So how did this tension start? Let's study this together. Saturday, May, Hamas's armed forces fired hundreds of rockets into Israel, ending a ceasefire signed in May. After the attacks were carried out, a large number of armed Hamas militants began to enter Israel across the border. The Israeli army declared a state of war and called up many reserve officers to duty. Meanwhile, at least 700 Israelis have lost their lives from the sudden attacks of the Hamas terrorist organization, and 313 Gazans have been neutralized. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released a statement video after the Hamas attacks, saying, "We are at war."
ולהשיב מלחמה שערה בעוצמה ובהיקף שהאויב לא הכיר. האויב ישלם מחיר שהוא לא ידע כמותו. אני קורא בינתיים לכל אזרחי ישראל להישמע בקפדנות להנחיות הצבא, להנחיות פיקוד העורף. אנחנו במלחמה ואנחנו ננצח בה.
According to the data of the Israeli Ministry of Health, more than 2,000 Israelis were taken to hospitals on the second day of the war between Israel and the Hamas terrorist organization. It is stated that 19 patients are in serious condition, 326 are in serious condition, 359 are in moderate condition, and 821 are slightly injured. Israeli media reported that 700 Israelis were killed, while more than 300 Palestinians were neutralized. The Israeli Prime Minister made striking statements after one day last year, saying that the army will use all its power to destroy Hamas. While all these developments were happening, statements from many countries came one after another. While some people maintained the silence of the country, others argued that a peaceful way should be followed. The United States of America, Joe Biden, on the other hand, ordered additional support for Israel after the Hamas October attacks. According to NBC News, plans are being focused on the deployment of U.S. Navy ships and military aircraft near Israel and the evacuation of U.S. citizens. Other measures being considered include the release of the American ammunition stockpile stored in Israel, to which Israel is allowed access in case of emergency decrees, the sources said. The Israeli media notes that a large part of this ammunition was sent to Ukraine, but there is enough ammunition in stock for Israeli use. A statement also came from Turkey, another key country. The Turkish president called on Hamas to support peace and protect civilians in a statement on Sunday. "We are ready to do everything we can to decelerate the tension," Erdogan said, inviting all international actors to support peace.
On behalf of Turkey and in light of this morning's events in Israel, we invite all parties to act reasonably and to stay away from impulsive steps that raise tensions.
There is also a very tense atmosphere on the Lebanese border on the second day of clashes with Hamas. Sunday decembrations took place between Hezbollah and the Israeli army. The majority of the residents living near the Lebanese border barrier were voluntarily evacuated to the southern regions after the call of the security units. According to Israeli media, almost only emergency teams remained in towns near the security barriers. Emergency teams in all villages along the Lebanese border were reinforced with additional IDF forces on Saturday evening. While civilian vehicle traffic on the roads remained at a minimum level, the presence of tanks and other military vehicles simultaneously increased. Lebanese soldiers stand guard on a hill overlooking the Israeli town of Metula from the Lebanese side of the border, in the southern Lebanese village of Kfar Kila. At least 600 people have been killed in the largest attack by the Palestinian militant group Hamas against Israel in recent years. Israeli officials said that close to 2,000 people were also injured, and 370 people were killed in Israel's retaliatory attacks on Gaza. The Israeli army is trying to maintain full control in the area. Israeli officials reported that attacks on Hamas targets will continue, and towns near the Gaza border will be evacuated. The Israeli military says more than 400 Palestinian militants have been killed. Hamas militants crossed from Gaza into Israel during the attacks, during which thousands of rockets were fired early Saturday, and captured a large number of soldiers and civilians. Government officials announced that at least 100 people had been kidnapped by Hamas. After the Hamas operation called the Al-Aqsa Flood, the Israeli army declared a state of war alert and carried out attacks in the Gaza Strip. According to the Gaza authorities, 370 people were killed and nearly 2,200 injured in these attacks. Netanyahu said that Israel's revenge for this Black Day will be great. Every place where Hamas is hiding will be reached, Netanyahu said. Let Gazans get away from there. In this news, we have shared the latest updates of deconfliction between Israel and Hamas. Our next news will be a video in which we will do a tactical analysis of the armies. Keep following us, stay up to date. Goodbye.